In this video, I'm going to share with you how I sold over 20,000 copies of my book as a self-published author, how I became a #1 Amazon bestseller, and also one of the top social media influencers. Make sure you guys click the subscribe button for more videos like this. And get started. I am Dealy Inspires, the #1 sought after self-publishing consultant across the web, and also owner of Authors in Business Co. And the reason why it's Authors in Business, because nobody told me this, but publishing is not enough. And so you guys are watching this video because you're wondering, how in the world did you sell over 20,000 copies of your book, became Amazon bestseller, and this big social media influencer? Well, you guys are in luck, because we're gonna go dive right into it. So some of you may know my story, but I am a convicted felon, and once I was released from prison, it was very difficult to get back on my feet. It was like so difficult to find a job. It was difficult to start a business without all the capital, until a stranger told me that you can literally write your way out. And so writing my book was more so of like healing too, as well, that I was able to release a few things. I was able to, address a few issues that I went through too as well. And I'm so glad that I did. Okay, so some of the ways that, or some things that I wish somebody would have told me, was the pricing. Yes, pricing. Pricing is so important when you self-publish your book, especially that first price. Oftentimes we think that our story is special, or maybe that our story is better than someone else's, or maybe your book is about expertise, maybe you're training someone or teaching and you're an entrepreneur and all that great stuff. But pricing is so important. So what I did to sell over 20,000 copies of my book is make sure that I priced it right. The goal wasn't necessarily to make all of this money. The goal was how can I get this book in as many hands as possible? And I knew that I could do that based on the price. So I started off with my ebook at 99 cents. I know some people are like, man, that's just $1, and I already spent so much money on publishing and editing and the book cover and all of that great stuff. But I promise you, if you look at it this way, 99 cents or $1 from 100 people is $100. $1 from 1,000 people is $1,000. And it is not just that, hey, look, you got this $1,000 at 99 cents from 1,000 people, but you have to look at it not just as the money or income that you're getting from it, but how many people are reading this book, which then turns around to how many book reviews you're going to receive, how many speaking engagements, because so many people have read my book and gave me speaking engagements, opened up the opportunity for training too as well, and different resources also, like prison prevention, talk to youth and share your story that way. Also schools and resources like that too as well. So those are one of the ways that I made sure that book is in so many hands as possible, in so many units at the same time. The next thing I did was I made sure that I did flyers. I had 11 by 17 posters made of my book, with also the handle at the bottom, my social media handle at the bottom, also the link to go and purchase and order my book. And I just went around town and just went into the nail salons and asked them if I could put that flyer, that 11 by 17 poster, in their window. If I could put it in the barbershops, if I could put it in the hair salons, if I can put it everywhere, like even in the libraries too as well. If I can post this up, can I put it in the window? Can I tape it in the window for 30 days? And a lot of them said yes. And so that brought a lot of traffic, a lot of more units sold. In my first year as being a self-published author, you have to realize that you don't have like the traditional marketing dollars from the traditional publishing companies. So if you publish this book, you do have to do a little bit of footwork but I promise you it's going to definitely pay off at the end. A funny story is, especially with my paperback book, right? So I went to my mentor and he was like, well, how much are you going to charge for this book? And I said $20. And he was like, no, you're not. I was like, yes, I am. I'm going to sell my book for $20 a pop because I went through a lot of stuff and my story is important. And some of you watching this video may be saying the same thing, but he told me no. Would you rather sell 10 books at $10 and it be in 10 people's hands, or would you rather only sell 5 books at $20 and it's only in 5 individuals' hands? And he said, which one would you want more? I said, I want 10 people to have it more than 5 people to have it. And so it just made sense. So I sold my book at $10 a pop, which was really good because people were able to buy more than one book. See, as a self-published author, we think sell one book, one person. But if you look at it as one person may know 5 people, one person may know 10 people. I mean, even one person may have a group or a workshop or whatever the case may be too as well. And they may order bulk orders of your book. And that's how I sold. That was like the meat of how I sold the book. Not just online, not just individually, not just marketing and promoting on social media and all that other kind of great stuff. It was selling that book in bulk. I listened clearly to what individuals were saying. Like they said, oh my gosh, this is a great story. You have a really awesome story. This will be great for my youth group. And so I asked them, I said, well, how many people do you have in your youth group? And they might say 25, they may say 50. And I say, well, instead of purchasing 10, this book for $10, I'll give you a discount. So I may have sold 50 books for $8 a unit, or 75 books. The more books they purchase, the less it is per book. And then I was able to sell those units and sell over 20,000 copies of my book. I mean, a lot of people say, wow, how is that even possible? But listen, guys, 20,000 units is really not a lot compared to authors like J.K. Rowling, Steve Harvey, T.D. Jakes, and more. But it is possible for you. All right, so that's one of my other tips is the pricing, and also to sell your books in bulk. So you kind of want to have your packages already set out. So even if you're an aspiring author and you're watching this video, make sure that you have that in place, because people want to help you, but they just don't know how to help you. I mean, it looks like you have everything already together, right? So you have to tell them, you have to listen more intently when someone is interested in purchasing your book. And that's how I sold my books in bulk, as in boxes. I'm talking about mind blown, right? And so I definitely want you guys to do that too as well. So those are one of my tips. I do that every time that I publish a book. I use the same format every time. So the next thing that I use to sell multiple copies of my book is also placement. A lot of authors or individuals that come to me all the time, and they're under this misconception that it's just Amazon where you place your book at, or they want to be in Barnes and Nobles, but you cannot discredit the local bookstores. I mean, that's what I did in my first year. I'm like, look, I'm going to put my book as many places as possible, because we cannot be naive to think that everybody who purchases a book, they just go to Amazon. Now, the majority of individuals, they do. They really do. But that's not the be-all, end-all. So what I did was I did a Google search, and I just typed in local bookstores in my area. And so I just mapped out, week by week, which bookstores that I wanted to go to, or where I wanted to see my book placed at, and different things like that. And so the local bookstores have a different regimen or different rules to placing your book on their shelves. A lot of them do consignment. Now, if this is your first time hearing the word consignment, What it is that the bookstore gets a percentage of your book sales when the book is sold, but you are responsible to help promote the book for people to purchase the book there at that bookstore. So sometimes you get the author, the self-published author gets 60%, the bookstore gets 40%. And so like I said, I did a Google search of the local bookstores. Every week I just said, okay, on Monday, I'm going to this store. On Tuesday, I'm going to this store. On Wednesday, I'm going to this local bookstore. And that's how I sold multiple copies of my book as a self-published author, because I focused on placing my book in as many places as possible. And that was before it was on Barnes & Noble's bookshelves that I did that myself. I just set out, a few hours out of the day or before, in the mornings or when the time where it's less traffic at the bookstore, so that I can definitely get the attention of the manager. Whatever you do not go during lunchtime, because they are hungry and they're ready to get out the door. So that is one of my tips for you. The next thing, especially if you're a Christian author or you're an inspirational author, don't forget that churches have bookstores too, right? So they have coffee shops, they have bookstores, and so you can actually go to the church during the week. A lot of times they're open and their bookstores are open, that you can go in and ask them, what is the process or what are the rules for you to get your books inside of the store? And it's very simple, it's very easy. All you have to do is ask. And I don't know, they said, even if you have fear or you might be apprehensive about this, listen. Being courageous is not being scared. Being courageous is being scared to death but doing it anyway. And bottom line, all they can do is say yes or no. So I strongly advise you guys to just go and ask. All they can do is say yes or no. So don't forget your local bookstores, your book placement to put your books in the local bookstores. Also, you have church bookstores. Don't forget the libraries too as well. Now, at the libraries, they don't buy bulk units, right? But you want to get the word out there. You want people to get interested. You want to kind of hook them on your book, because your book leads to multiple streams of income. There's so many different directions that you can go to lead to multiple streams of income. So when you have your books at the library, like I did, so I went into the library, you talk to the manager, and they read your book, and then also they put it on the bookshelf. But what I did, here's a little secret. What I did was I got about 3 or 4 of my friends to call the library and ask them and request the book. And so that way it created this huge demand. I thought that was so genius, so aha. And so they called once a week, sometimes once a month, to request my book. And of course they didn't have it at the time. And so that made them get the book, because they're like, oh my gosh, so many people are calling to request this book, and they buy at least 3 units of your book. And then what happens is, somebody reads it and they invite you to speak at their church. They invite you to speak at their school. They invite you to speak at the college. They invite you to speak on their webinar. They might invite you to speak at their conference or at a corporate event. You never know who is at the library working, a student working, somebody, an entrepreneur working, that wants to collaborate with you. So you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket and just publish on Amazon. You want to make sure that you pay attention to the book placement too as well, and put your book on as many shelves as possible. Don't forget, you have Books of Millions. You have also the Christian bookstores too as well. Don't forget that. All right, so you want to sell as many units as possible by putting your books on different shelves. And now this is speaking to the author who's just focused in their local area or their city that they're in. But if you're in a state like I'm in Georgia, there's so many big cities. It's not just Atlanta. You have Columbus, Georgia. You have Savannah, Georgia. You have Augusta, Georgia. You have Macon, Georgia. There's so many other big cities that also have local bookstores, that have colleges, that have schools, that have churches with bookstores. So you kind of want to expand And that's how you can sell over 20 units. It's not as hard as some people think. All you have to do is either pick up the phone and make sure you do the Google search, but you don't want to get overwhelmed. So once your book is on all these different shelves, then you kind of want to make an Excel spreadsheet of which bookstore, how many units they have, their contact information, and when to expect that check. So usually like every 30 to 90 days, they send you a check of how many books are sold, and then they order more units of your book. Ways to help that to be sold is to go to the bookstore, take a picture with your book on the shelf, and that leads me to the next thing, guys, on how I became a social media influencer. I went to as many bookstores, churches as possible, and I took pictures with myself next to my books that are on the shelf. Also, I did book signings at that bookstore to bring traffic in. Then what the bookstore does, the local ones, it's not even always Barnes & Nobles, they'll put you on their Facebook fan page. They'll put you on their Instagram. They will promote you like crazy. Even libraries, you can do a book signing at your local libraries in your area and or your county or your city too as well. And that just brought a whole lot of validation, because it's kind of like monkey see, monkey do. And a lot of marketing and advertising big firms, they use this a lot, like it's social proof that you are who you say you are. And if all these individuals are purchasing your book, then they want to purchase your book. They want to see, why is everybody saying your book is awesome? Why is everybody buying your book? Why is everybody giving you all these great book reviews? Why is everybody so interested in what you have to say? And so these are some of the ways that I became a big social media influencer. Another way that I became a social media influencer is that I made sure that I flooded those timelines. Now, some of you guys are saying it's pretty difficult now. It's different from 2014 than it is now in 2019. And with this whole algorithm system, SEO thing going on here. But what you have to do is promote, advertise, market, promote, advertise, market your book. Because the more people see you, the more they know you, the more they like you, the more they trust you, the more they want to try it. And then the results of your book, of your material, of your content is what's going to keep people coming back for more, because what you shared with them last time, it actually worked, right? And so how many times does that happen? And so I wish somebody would have told me all of this when I was just started. And so ways to do that is not just putting posts out or pictures, but video is the big thing now, especially in 2019, and live stream. So I made sure I went live as consistent as possible, but I focused on the time that I went live. I don't know if a lot of authors know this, but the time that you post one of your posts or your videos, or the time that I went live on live stream played a big part. So I went live late at night. So I'm on Eastern Standard Time Zone. And so I made sure I went live between 10 p.m. and 1 o'clock in the morning, because that was the time where a lot of individuals, because my book is about inspiration. And, you know, there was a time when I was released from prison that I suffered through depression and post-traumatic stress, because it was a really traumatic experience for me. And so what I did was I realized that a lot of people at this time, they're in their best, you know, they're not feeling as great, you know, especially mental health awareness and different things like that. And sometimes when people are going through that, they just need a helping hand. They just need to be reassured and be reminded on how great they really are. And so when I went live at that time, you know, people are looking, my viewers, my audience, were looking to see me at this time every single night or every other night or once a week, but they knew to expect me at this time. And so that's how I grew on Periscope. Live stream grew from 0 people following me to over 9,000 people following me. That's how I grew on Facebook, to 0 people knowing who I am to over 50,000 people following me on Facebook and getting my blue verification check mark, and also on Instagram too as well. So I hope these resources and these tips really helped you guys too as well. But you can become an influencer with these tips. You can sell over 20,000 copies of your book. All you have to do is break it down into bite-sized pieces, and it is actually doable. And above everything else, you definitely want to make sure that you stay consistent. You can do it. Just break it down. Just say, okay, well, have goals, because a lot of authors don't have goals. And I'll talk about that. I'll talk about 2019 goals and maybe another video, some more tips on how to actually do that and some of my secrets on what I do and what works. But you definitely want to make sure that you utilize these resources. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you comment below, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, give me a wow, okay? And let me know what other questions, put your questions, your self-publishing questions down in the comments below. Let me know what other videos you would like to see more of, because I want to make sure that I help you guys through this whole process. I'm basically that girl, that publishing consultant that will tell you the truth or the actionable tips that you can definitely use that other publishers will not tell you. All right, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you for watching this video all the way to the end. And if we can be a better service, or if you want more information on what it is that we provide at Authors in Business Co., you can do so by going to my website at dleeinspires.com, or you can follow us on social media at dleeinspires too as well. I'm so super pumped up, as you guys can see. I'm excited, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon.